Intersections means bringing together different ideas, different perspectives.
Science and culture actually have a great deal to do with one another. They actually interface a great deal.
It's a different way of learning and thinking about curriculum and how you're going to interact with kids.
The project's important because it helps everyone involved. Scientists aren't very good at communicating to non-scientists, and it helps educators in the classroom, who frankly are responsible for our future scientists, to think about science from people who do it, and then also for people who live in these areas to understand the cultural history of the natural systems.
I'm just excited to learn about things like science and Native American history, as well as being a better writer with this program.
Today we are escorting a group of teachers here through Caras Park and at Spectrum to engage them in thinking about how human beings have altered their landscape, altered the ecology of the landscape, and specifically here in Caras Park we're looking at how people through the past have altered the river for those choices that we're making. If teachers can take the experience and the knowledge from an event like this back into their classrooms and share that with students and have students reflect on their part in their worlds, then obviously we're going to have an adult population in the future that will be more sensitive to and have a better understanding of the idea that they're not just an individual, that everything they do really does contribute to the world around them.
Well, we're involved in an interaction today on the river with educators, high school and middle school teachers, and scientists like myself, and then also representative of the indigenous peoples to allow the educators to think about landscapes both from human history and from ecological and environmental points of view, and then they write about it.
Larger view begs more questions but gives you less answers.
I'm a teacher, English teacher at Big Sky High School. I think it's a priority to be able to have students connect their lives into the classroom from experiences they have out of the classroom.
Nature, life in nature, what about them?
You know, it creates a dialogue for students, and it generates good writing, and it generates good thinking, and it generates good science when students have something to connect with.
So far today, we have had an excellent time rafting down the Clark Fork River, and we've had a chance to talk to 3 different specialists. One is about science, one is Native American history, and another is about writing.
For this very exciting project, I'm a local tribal knowledge expert. So my role in all of this is to present a tribal perspective on place, as this was the traditional homeland of the Salish and Pend Oreille people.
Today we've floated down and we take little breaks to write and to think and to talk about what's happening. And we've looked at the river through a bunch of different perspectives that kind of gives the entire history of the river.
We've been talking about the science of rivers and river ecology. A lot of the stones on the bottoms of the rivers are from very, very old geological formations.
It makes you excited to go learn. Professional development, being not in a classroom, makes it a fun activity, not sitting through and twiddling your thumbs, so you're really engaged in listening to what people have to say.
Being out and connecting to the writing with where we are too, and it's not just in a location inside of a building, we're outside and being part of it. I was interested in adding more writing to my science classes. We do a lot of physical science, but we miss out on some of the verbal ways of thinking about the world and how the kids are going to communicate with each other.
What do you think, Nitty?
Writing is such a critical element in the human thought process. We can be told many things, we can listen to lectures, we can watch documentaries, but until you actually internalize what it is that you're learning, thinking about through that process of writing, it really doesn't become a part of the person.